This meeting will run a little different. We'll do a reorganizational session first, and then I'll let the new chairman take over from there. I want to welcome Leanne Woldvogel back to the commission. She was appointed, and thank Jamie Bowman for, I'm not sure how many years, 8 maybe?
9, she said.
9 years of service on the Heritage Commission, so thanks to her. The order of business is an election of the commission chair, so I would entertain a motion for a chairperson to the commission.
I make a motion for Casey.
Martha motions for Casey to be chair.
I second the motion.
Donna seconds. Any other motions? All right, take a vote then. All in favor of Casey being the chairperson?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right,
Don't say
motion
where
carries.
Casey.
Congratulations. I would entertain any motions for vice chair.
Well, I make a motion, Donna.
Martha motions for Donna to be vice chair.
I would second that.
Elaine seconds. Any other motions for vice chair? No? We'll take a vote. All in favor of Donna being the vice chair?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We will adjourn the reorganizational section. And Casey, come on down. Congratulations.
You know you get double the pay now.
I know, I'm kind of excited.
Whenever you're ready.
Ready?
Mhm.
We'll do the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda is roll call.
Frank Myers. Frank.
Here.
Donna Roush.
Here.
Martha Patterson.
Here.
Casey Benner.
Here.
Leanne Woodwell.
Here.
We have quorum.
Okay. And the next thing on our agenda is the approval of our agenda for tonight's meeting.
I make a motion that we approve.
I'll second it.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next is approval of minutes from the February meeting.
I make a motion we approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I wasn't here, I can't second it.
Neither me.
I guess I'll have to second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next is introduction of evidence.
As always, I have the design guidelines here, city ordinances. I sent you the staff packets and materials information, and there are also some hard copies in the center of the table.
I make a motion we accept the evidence.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Then we go on to old business. And it is SGHC 010-19. It was to receive a certificate of appropriateness to paint a mural on the west side of the building at 380 Market Street.
Before we ask any questions, I just wanted to go over a few things. Just to reiterate, the purpose of the Heritage Commission is laid out in ordinance, and one of those under section 41010, number 7 is promoting historic districts and landmarks for the education, pleasure, and welfare of the people of the city. So that is one of the things that we do. Also, I wanted to point out under 410-250, which is I'll read these to you because I know you don't have them. If you do have them memorized, more power to you. 410-250, that's scope of review. A certificate of appropriateness shall be required before the following projects may be undertaken. Any project affecting an exterior character defining architectural feature or appearance of a designated landmark or contributing structure or site. And then if we go to the front of the the Historic Preservation Ordinance, exterior architectural appearance is defined as the architectural character and general composition of the exterior of a structure, including, but not limited to, the kind, color, and texture of building material and the type, design, and character of all windows, doors, light fixtures, signs, and appurtenant elements. And I also sent each of you a email from our city attorney. We asked him a few questions, and he did reiterate in here, it is my opinion that the mural, if approved, would be the responsibility of the property owner and should be maintained as such. I know Joy has said she would maintain it, but I wanted to answer that question for you all. That's all I have. Did you have any questions at this point?
Do we have a representative of the mural?
She is stepping forward as we
Well, I
speak.
mean, I'm assuming she's got a,
You wanted a color
yes.
version of it. I only have one. I did not make multiple copies this time.
Is the red going to be the background of this then?
Speaking with Leon Bosler, who is going to be helping me with this project, we are going to be power washing the side of the building, and then we're going to be priming it. So we will probably go with a lighter gray color as a background.
Yeah, it'll be, makes a significant difference.
Yeah. And then I talked to Bob Mueller and had him go over everything and make sure everything was pretty accurate to, you know, time period wise. And we've made a few changes, but everything is still basically what we had the last time.
One thing that is apparent to me is that I am not an authority on art by any means. And I'm not sure the rest of our committee is either. I'm wondering if it might be appropriate to get, we have a very renowned and well-known art guild, to get their opinion on the thing. Because it's going to be a very, very significant feature in the community. If it's done right, it'll be great. If it's not,
Frank, I agree with that.
She's the artist.
And I
she
also
is
had-
one artist. I'd like to
had
hear
Leon
what from the group.
And I had Leon Bosler assisting me with this as well and going over this.
If you have 5 different artists, you're going to have different intakes. Art is in the eye.
Well, I'd like to hear their consolidated opinion.
I just would reiterate, I don't know, I mean, we can ask for opinions, but I don't know that the artistic content of the drawing is in our purview.
It isn't.
Okay. But you're,
What is in our purview is yes or no, and before I want to answer yes, I want to be sure that somebody, that the community is going to get what they deserve, a very good, notable piece. And I'm not saying it's not, I'm just saying that I'm not qualified to say that they are, it is. And it's not just artistic ability, and something like this where you're working, it's different than just normal painting. And I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yes, yes.
I went to Cape
And
Cod.
I've been involved with these things where they have been great. I've been involved with them where they have failed miserably.
Through the years, I've watched the murals go up in Cape Girardeau. I also made a trip to Paducah and looked at those.
Mhm.
This is comparable. It's just different artists.
It's comparable in content.
Yes, and I have pictures of Paducah if anybody wants to see them. But,
Well, content is, you say Bob Mueller reviewed it, I respect Bob.
I've included the Beckett Robeau House in the first with the Lewis and Clark Sacagawea, right, with Charbonneau, the babies.
But we do have an
Matisse
artist
Charbonneau.
guild in the town, which is well-known, respected throughout the country. It has been for years, long before I got in the community.
I like it very much. I think this is going to be very nice and a great building.
I like the inclusion of all the bits of history and
Sure, she started here, the
things.
And then I go with the fur trading, and I have a blacksmith, and then I have the riverboat commerce, I have the John Baptiste Valley House, I have farming, I have the mining, I have the railroad transfer off of the ferry, I have church, I have those festivals and our city flag, and then I have.
And how much, oh, if I'm driving into the community,
I love how
Right,
it ends
Carl.
on the.
Just driving past that, that's an awful lot to comprehend as you're moving along.
The letters are going to be how high?
Approximately 6 to 7 feet. Yeah. The whole thing from top to bottom is about 11.
I make a motion to approve it.
I know Cuba, Missouri has several murals, and so does Bisbee, Arizona. And as Frank said, some of them are well done, some are not so much, but
I second the motion to approve it. We have a motion and a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
All opposed?
I didn't know if you heard, Casey.
yes, I did.
Marcia, Martha made a motion, Donna seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
I fear,
So
and it's not the quality of it, it's just, I feel a lack of a recommendation by qualified source.
It would be nice to bring them in to
How long have
let
you
them have an
taught
opinion of it.
30 years.
if
Taught art for
nothing
30 years, do you
So
sell
Lane, you
art
voted in
on
the
site?
affirmative?
I have not. I've done
Not
things for
gonna be able to-
myself and then
Judge
things-
till it's up there
And then I
and
also do, now I do
irrevocable.
more craft work, like chair painting, seat weaving, baskets, and I sell those down at the candy shop we have.
Do you get lessons?
I do. And then I also do crocheting and I make the rag rugs that we sell down there.
Do you vacuum?
Okay.
Do you vacuum? I think you
Thank you, Joy. That passed
Okay.
401.
Yes.
where on the building will it start?
It's going to be from edge of the building
the
to that
front edge?
one corner, and it's going to be below the top windows, and then about 6 feet up above from the bottom.
Will it be, the mock-up you have there is sort of pastel. Will it be pastel or will it be brighter colors?
It may be a little bit brighter, not a whole lot, maybe just a little bit.
Do you mind if I take a snapshot of that?
Sure.
Okay.
It'll coincide with the gray. That's classic.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you.
And moving on to new business, we have SGHC 014-19 to receive a certificate of appropriateness to replace a standing seam metal roof with an exposed fastener metal roof at 73 North Main. Do we have anyone here to speak on that? You can come to
Step up
the
and
podium.
introduce yourself.
I'm Bart Brown. Me and my wife own the Law Technique Salon. And we've had some trouble with the roof. It actually got ripped up sometime in late January. Some of the corner lifted. The old standing seam, well, it's actually not the old standing seam, it's actually the old hammered seam. So you actually can't replace that with that. The closest thing is standing seam. It's rather expensive. So we got a second bid with the corrugated tin. It's exposed fastener. So that's what we're trying to get approved here. Still a metal roof, still 40 years either way. If you do standing seam or corrugated, it's a 40-year guarantee. So for the price difference, if I can get the cheaper route approved, I'm going to go that way. For the life of the roof, I'm not gaining anything.
The bid I saw includes replacing any boards underneath.
It's rotten, and we have some damage. We had some leak on the front. Some of our soffit is a little bit damaged. They're going to remove and replace that with wood. It's wood now. They're going to replace it with what's already there existing. It'll be repainted white. On that there, it's already white. So
You're removing all the old roof and
all the
replacing
old,
the
yes,
sheeting as needed.
yes. If where the rotten pieces are, will be replaced.
I'd like to have seen a picture of the roofing, but a couple of questions. One, where is it nailed? In the ridge? I mean, we're in the elevated position?
Yes, he's got a picture right there. What it is.
And what happens at the edge where it goes over the gutter? Is it turned down, which is the old standing seams always did, as a prevention from the wind
Right.
blowing the
Has a
water
rollover.
right up through?
Those will have a fastener at the very bottom of the roof. I have this roof on my house at home, so it actually comes down, and then there's a fastener that goes. There's a line of fasteners.
There'll be
that
a
goes
fastener there
at the
to
very
keep
bottom. Yes, to keep it from lifting.
water from blowing up through.
Yeah, well, the blowing up underneath, there's a foam they put underneath, and they screw that down with there, so no water can actually blow back up underneath of it.
It'll be a strange departure from the standing seam, which is historic, where you have the standing seam with just a dominant seam every 18 inches or 24, whatever it is. Whereas this has four, it's got the two things in the middle. I mean, this is a historic structure. And all I'm saying is that it'll be quite a departure in appearance. The roof needs replaced, the metal roof
Is that a 4x8?
is
sheet
the
that
proper
we're looking
roof. But
Those sheets will be the length, they'll be cut to
at? They'll be
each,
cut
to the length of the roof.
But
There will
they're
be,
4 foot.
yeah, that's a 4-foot wide section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know, is the distance between the upward seams about a foot?
Yes, they're about 12 inches.
no, it'll show up as
That part,
it's a
but-
different, I
You're
mean,
talking about the other two?
it will not be a historic roof. I mean, won't be the appearance of a historic roof.
Any other questions for Mr. Brown?
What's the price difference between the two?
Standing seam's about $16,000, and the corrugated is about $8,000. So about double the price for standing seam.
I guess what we have to think about here is the protection of the building. So if they're having leaks and things are starting to get damaged, then
It has to be replaced.
But it is a historically significant building.
it is.
And it should be done, repaired, so that it remains that way.
Do you have a copy of what you gave us? I don't have it with me, of the roof, the different roofs,
The different roofs.
the different description of the different roofs, I believe. Different ones are recommended or acceptable for commercial buildings than they are for residential.
As far as our guidelines,
I
was
think
that
it
something?
you gave a copy, I think you got that from the Department of Interior.
I did, I don't have a copy of that handy.
I got it at home, you got me right home, get it.
I drove.
It does say preserve the
In there,
original form
there
and
is
scale of
different
the roof.
exceptions for commercial buildings, outbuildings,
Or
and
the Secretary of
residential.
Interior standards? Yes.
And this is a commercial building.
As a commercial use, yes. It's, I think what Frank's referring to is it's on the local landmark list.
Right.
It does say if a new roof is necessary, try to match the color, material, and pattern of the old as closely as possible.
And the word similar.
I make a motion to accept as presented.
We have a motion to accept as presented. Do we have a second?
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Elaine, I'm sorry. Was it approval or,
Approval.
so affirmative?
Gotta replace the roof where the building will go.
401. Motion carries 401.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, our next item is SGHC 015-19. It's to receive a certificate of appropriateness to install an ADA compliant wheelchair ramp along the front of the building at 10 South 3rd Street.
Evening, my name is Jason Schott, and I'm here with the Senate Bill 40. It's a taxing entity for the county that collects personal property taxes for the handicap. Senate Bill 40 purchased the building down there recently, and we're going to be putting in a coffee shop that will employ special needs individuals to work there. And since we are an entity that collects taxes for handicap and special needs, we also need a ramp to put into that building so individuals in wheelchairs can get into the facility, and even our workers potentially. So what I've presented is a powder-coated metal ramp with a landing that will attach to the front porch there on the building. That if needs be down the road, if we sell the building and the next owners want to remove it, it can be removed pretty easily. It's going to be 6 inches. The step is only right. The step is only 6 inches onto our landing, so it will only be 6 inches tall, and it will have a 6-foot drop. It'll be going from our front porch side there on 3rd Street down towards the mattress store, that direction.
And it can be removed later on if you want it.
That's what the contractor that I'm going through has told me, yes.
Okay.
Well, I can understand why you need it. I mean, it's rather bad on a commercial facility and stuff. But you say it's on the sidewalk on 3rd Street?
On 3rd Street. So it will butt up against our building,
Yes.
and it will come out the,
How far will it come out?
it will only come out, I can tell you that here shortly. Give me 1 second. 48 inches in width, so 4 feet wide.
That's they're putting to the standard.
It's compliant, yes.
How much sidewalk does that leave then?
It'll be, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sidewalk there is approximately 98 inches wide.
98 inches. Okay,
So
so,
it leaves another 50 inches.
okay, because we've got to have that between the curb, light fixture, and you've got to have the width for a wheelchair there.
Absolutely.
Okay, and it will be a ramp. What keeps it from being a tripping hazard for somebody walking down the street not paying attention to what they're doing?
Well, it'd be no different than your light pole. What would cause somebody from walking down the sidewalk and hitting a light pole? I mean, we can't, it's gonna be up against our building. It's either black or bronze. People are gonna be able to see that, and if they don't see that, they're gonna run into it. I mean, they can't walk up the ramp and then fall off the other side if that's what you're asking. They won't be able to do that, but, I mean, they're gonna have to walk around the ramp.
Why couldn't they
What's that?
fall off the other end if they?
There's railings all the way around it. You
You're gonna
can't-
have a railing
Yes.
around it, okay.
Yes.
No, I'm not opposed to it.
No, I know.
I recognize that it has to be
Right,
done.
right.
It could conceivably be done as an interior one. I've done that,
Interior.
yeah, in the building.
Well, we need them to get into the building.
But what you're suggesting, so long as it meets the standard, and it is not a hazard.
There are specific stipulations for historic buildings with
Well,
ADA
I
guidelines
recognize it's a
and-
very complex
Yeah.
set of standard.
Yeah. And this definitely meets
Who
the ADA
makes,
guidelines.
who makes that decision in the city government here?
As far as
What,
what decision?
whether the proposed plan meets the standard? Because the standards are published.
ADA standards or
Yes.
historic preservation?
Yeah,
The building inspector would
Okay.
make those determinations.
okay. That's all it takes.
Will it all be metal?
I think it's
I'm sorry.
The walkway
Oh,
is
it's like
also
a
metal?
nine.
Yeah, everything will be all your powder coated metal, either black or bronze. We got our choice, we just haven't decided which one. And it's gonna, from what I understand, it's gonna be similar to what I believe the museum is going to put in. It's identical to that, to what the museum is gonna be putting in.
And if for some reason down the road, Senate Bill 40 sells the building, the ramp is removed.
Right, and of course at the new owner's expense, they can remove it. It's just gonna be bolted into the sidewalk, right.
I'll make a motion that we approve the project as submitted,
I'll second the motion.
pending the approval of it meeting the standard.
ADA guidelines.
Yeah.
I second the motion as stated by Frank.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Next, we move on to administrative approvals.
I have not.
Okay. Any other business?
No, ma'am.
Do we have any public comments? Okay. And do we have to have a motion to adjourn?
Let's have that.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All right, we are adjourned.
Thank you.